The Zrakeri ruled the galaxy for thousands of years. Their bodies were covered in tough scales that could stop most weapons. They had sharp claws that could tear through metal, and they could eat almost anything. They came from a harsh world where only the strongest survived, and they built their entire society on this simple rule. The strong rule, the weak serve. No alien race had ever stood against them. Some tried to fight and were destroyed. Others surrendered and became slaves. The Zrakeri took what they wanted from over 30 different worlds across 3 arms of the galaxy. They had never known defeat. Commander Kaylee Bennett sat in her office aboard the Earth ship Horizon, reading the same message for the 5th time. Colony Outpost Delta 7 had stopped all communications 12 hours ago. This was the 4th human settlement to go silent in the past month. "Computer, show me the star map," Kaylee said. A hologram appeared over her desk, showing tiny blue dots for human colonies. Red X marks covered the ones that had gone dark. "Connect the points of attack." The computer drew lines between the red X marks. The pattern was clear. Something was moving toward Earth, testing defenses as it came. Kaylee's communication device buzzed. "Commander, Admiral Rogers wants to speak with you." The Admiral's face appeared on her screen. His expression was grim. "I assume you've seen the news about Delta 7. "Yes, sir. It fits the pattern we've been tracking. Intelligence finally got us some images. Sending them now." Kaylee's screen filled with grainy video footage. The camera showed the colony's main street. People were running. Then several large shapes moved into view. They walked on 2 legs but were much taller than humans. Their bodies were covered in dark green scales. They moved with frightening speed, catching fleeing colonists with ease. "Zrakeri," Admiral Rogers said. "We've been hearing stories about them from other alien refugees for years. Now they found us." Kaylee studied the footage carefully. The Zrakeri used some kind of energy weapon, but they seemed to prefer catching people with their claws. Their hunting style was efficient and brutal. "We need to warn all outer colonies," Kaylee said, "and prepare our fleet." "Already happening," the Admiral replied. "I'm sending the Horizon to investigate Delta 7. See if there are any survivors. Gather whatever intelligence you can." "Yes, sir. We'll depart immediately." After the call ended, Kaylee called her senior officers to the command deck. She showed them the footage and laid out their mission. Lieutenant Paul Wilson, her security chief, looked troubled. "I've heard the stories about the Zrakeri. They're supposed to be nearly impossible to kill." "Every living thing has weaknesses," said Dr. Amanda Foster, the ship's science officer. "We just need to find theirs." Far away, aboard a massive ship that resembled a predatory animal, Warlord Thraz watched recordings of human behavior collected by scout drones. The Zrakeri leader was tall even for his kind, with battle scars crossing his scaled face. His yellow eyes narrowed as he studied the strange creatures. "Such soft beings," he said to his officers. "No claws, no fangs, thin skin that tears easily. How did they ever survive long enough to build spaceships?" His second-in-command, Vrak, pointed to footage of human soldiers training. "They compensate with tools, Warlord, and they show unusual coordination in groups." Thraz dismissed this with a wave of his clawed hand. "Many prey species flock together for protection. It doesn't save them from real hunters. These humans have expanded into our hunting grounds, and now they will learn their place." He turned to his fleet commander. "Prepare 10 ships for the next hunt. We'll take their colony at what they call New Washington. I want to study their defenses before we strike at their homeworld." The commander beat his chest in salute. "It will be a glorious hunt, Warlord." Thraz looked back at the images of humans going about their daily lives, completely unaware of what was coming for them. "Yes," he said, showing his razor-sharp teeth. "These humans have never faced true predators before. This will be most enjoyable." Lieutenant Ryan Cooper led the rescue team down to the surface of Delta 7. The colony looked like a ghost town. Doors hung open. Personal items were scattered across streets and walkways. The team moved carefully, weapons ready. "Stay alert," Ryan said to his squad. "We don't know if the attackers are still here." They reached the colony's main control building. The heavy metal door had been torn open like paper. Inside, they found the first bodies. The sight made even the veteran soldiers pause. "What kind of creature could do this?" whispered Sergeant Amy Grant, looking at the claw marks that had ripped through body armor. Ryan knelt beside one of the fallen colonists. "Command, this is Lieutenant Cooper. No survivors found so far. The attack was brutal." He activated his camera so Commander Kaylee could see. "These people never had a chance." "Check the security recordings," Kaylee ordered through the communication link. "We need to see exactly what happened." Ryan's team found the control room. Surprisingly, the computer systems were still working. Dr. Linda Morrison, their tech specialist, accessed the security feeds. "I have footage from the attack," she said. The team gathered around the screen. The video showed a normal day of the colony. Then alarms started blaring. The colonists looked confused, then terrified. Huge scaled creatures appeared, moving faster than seemed possible for their size. The colony's security forces fired their weapons, but the bullets seemed to barely slow the attackers. "Send that footage to the horizon," Ryan ordered. "Command needs to see this." As Linda worked, Ryan explored the rest of the building. In what was once the colony director's office, he found something strange. Marks on the computer that weren't random destruction. "Dr. Morrison, take a look at this," he called. Linda examined the computer. They downloaded data before destroying the system. These weren't just mindless killers. They wanted information. Aboard the horizon, Kaylee watched the security footage with her command staff. The room was silent when the video ended. "Those are definitely Zrakeri," said Dr. Foster. "Their attacks match all the stories we've heard. They're ambush predators. They strike fast, overwhelm their prey, and leave no survivors." Kaylee studied the footage again. "Look at how they move. They're not just strong. They're smart. They targeted the communications array first, then the power systems, then the armory. That's not animal instinct. That's tactical thinking." She turned to her officers. "We need to warn New Washington immediately. Based on the pattern of attacks, they could be next." Hidden behind the third moon of a nearby gas giant, Warlord Thraz watched the human ship in orbit around Delta 7. His cloaking technology kept his vessels invisible to human sensors. "They send a single ship to investigate," he said with a laugh that sounded like grinding stones. "They truly have no idea what they face." Vrak, his second in command, seemed less certain. "The humans move differently than other prey species we've hunted, Warlord. They are methodical, careful." "You sound worried." "Vrak," Thraz said, his yellow eyes narrowing. "Has serving as my second made you soft?" Vrak straightened his spine, showing the proper respect. "Never, Warlord. I simply believe we should study this new prey before committing our forces." Thraz considered this for a moment. "Perhaps you are right. We have intercepted some of their communications. Their weapons seem primitive compared to ours. Their bodies have no natural defenses, but they have spread quickly across many stars. This suggests some strength we have not yet seen." He turned to his tactical officer. "Change of plans. Before we attack New Washington, let us test these humans. Target their ship. Disable it if possible. I want prisoners to study." The tactical officer bowed. "As you command, Warlord." On the horizon, alarms suddenly blared. "3 vessels decloaking," shouted the sensor officer. "Energy signatures match nothing in our database." Kaylee ran to the command chair. "Battle stations. All personnel to emergency positions." She watched as 3 massive, claw-shaped ships appeared on the main screen. They were unlike any alien vessels she had seen before. They were watching us the whole time, she realized. This was a trap. Evasive maneuvers. Kaylee shouted as the first energy blasts from the Zrakeri ships streaked toward the horizon. The human vessel shuddered as its engines fired at maximum power. Shields at 80%, reported the tactical officer. Their weapons are unlike anything we faced before. Kaylee's mind raced. The horizon was outgunned and surrounded, but she had expected something like this might happen. Before leaving Earth space, she had requested backup. "Time to spring our own trap," she said quietly. She pressed a button on her command chair. "This is Commander Bennett to EFSS Defiant and EFSS Guardian. Execute Plan Delta." For a moment, nothing happened. The Zrakeri ships continued their attack, their energy weapons hammering the horizon's shields. Then, from hiding places within the asteroid field near Delta 7, 2 human battleships emerged. They had been waiting there, engines cold, sensors passive, nearly impossible to detect. "Fire everything we've got," Kaylee ordered. "Target their weapon systems first." All 3 human ships opened fire at once. The Zrakeri vessels, caught by surprise, took heavy damage before they could adjust their shields. On his flagship, Warlord Thraz roared in anger and confusion. Impossible. There were no other ships. Our sensors would have detected them. Vrak studied the tactical display. The humans hid their vessels in the asteroid field. They somehow masked their energy signatures. No prey sets traps for the hunter. Thraz slammed his clawed fist into the arm of his command chair, denting the metal. "Return fire. Destroy them all." The space around Delta 7 lit up with weapons fire. The Zrakeri ships were larger and more powerful, but the human vessels were faster and more maneuverable, and they were fighting as one, coordinating their attacks with precision. On the horizon, Ryan Cooper and his team rushed back from the planet's surface, their shuttle dodging debris from the battle. "This is Lieutenant Cooper requesting emergency docking," Ryan called as they approached the horizon. "Granted," Kaylee replied. "Get your team aboard quickly, Lieutenant. We may need to make a fast exit." As the battle raged, it became clear that while the Zrakeri ships had superior firepower, they had never faced an enemy that fought like humans. The 3 Earth vessels moved in complex patterns, striking from multiple angles, focusing fire on one target at a time. The smallest Zrakeri ship exploded as concentrated fire from the Guardian overloaded its engines. The remaining 2 Zrakeri vessels continued fighting, but their attacks became less coordinated. "Warlord, we must retreat," Vrak urged as another explosion rocked their flagship. "Our secondary systems are failing. The humans have damaged our main weapons." Thraz stared at the tactical display in disbelief. Retreat. No Zrakeri warlord had retreated in battle for generations. It was unthinkable, shameful. Yet as he watched another section of his ship erupt in flames, he knew they had underestimated these humans. "Send the retreat signal," he finally ordered, his voice low with rage. "We will withdraw. For now." The 2 remaining Zrakeri ships turned away from the battle. Their engines glowed brightly as they accelerated, then vanished into hyperspace. On the horizon, the bridge crew cheered. But Kaylee remained silent, studying the sensor readings from the battle. "They'll be back," she said. "And next time, they'll be ready for our tactics." Admiral Frank Winters received Kaylee's report with grave concern. He sat in his office at Earth Fleet Headquarters, the holographic display showing the battle data. "You're certain these were Zrakeri?" he asked. "Yes, sir," Kaylee replied through the communication link. "They match all descriptions from other alien races, and they're every bit as dangerous as the stories say." The Admiral nodded slowly. "You did well, Commander, but this is just the beginning. If the Zrakeri have targeted humanity, we need to prepare for war." He pressed a button on his desk. "I'm authorizing the formation of a special task force. Codename, Predator. Its mission will be to study the Zrakeri and develop strategies against them." "Who will lead this task force?" Kaylee asked. The Admiral looked directly at her. "You will, Commander Bennett. No one else has faced the Zrakeri in 2 months passed. The newly formed Predator Task Force worked day and night to prepare for the next Zrakeri attack. Kaylee had been promoted to captain and given command of the EFS Shadowhawk, a ship specially designed for the mission ahead. Dr. Linda Morrison led the science team, studying everything they knew about the Zrakeri. She stood before the task force officers, showing images on the main screen. The Zrakeri evolved from apex predators on a harsh world, she explained. Their natural abilities are impressive. They can see heat signatures. Their skin is like armor. Their claws can cut through steel. And their bodies can keep fighting even with serious injuries. Ryan Cooper, now a commander, asked the question everyone was thinking. So how do we beat them? Linda smiled. Every predator has weaknesses. We've analyzed the battle data and found 3 things we can use against them. She changed the display. First, their eyes are highly sensitive to ultraviolet light. Second, their hearing range is limited. They can't hear high-pitched sounds that humans can. And third, they're overconfident. They've never needed to change their tactics because they've never lost before. Kaylee nodded. Good work. Now we need to capture a live Zrakeri for study. Intelligence reports a damaged Zrakeri scout ship hiding in the Beta Centauri system. Ryan's team prepared for the mission. They wore new armor designed to resist Zrakeri claws. Their weapons included ultraviolet flash grenades. The plan was simple. Find the damaged Zrakeri ship, board it, and capture at least 1 crew member alive. The Shadowhawk moved silently through space, its advanced stealth systems hiding it from sensors. They found the Zrakeri scout ship on a small moon, making repairs. Approach from the dark side, Kaylee ordered. Commander Cooper, your team is cleared to launch when ready. Ryan and 5 soldiers boarded a small shuttle. They landed a mile from the Zrakeri ship and approached on foot. The alien vessel was larger than expected, with a design that reminded Ryan of a predatory animal. Remember, we need at least 1 alive, Ryan reminded his team. Use the UV grenades to disorient them, then the tranquilizer guns. They moved closer to the ship. One of the soldiers, Private Sam Lopes, checked the scanner. I'm reading 6 life forms inside. Ryan nodded. We go in through the damaged section near the rear. On my mark. The team moved swiftly. They reached the damaged hull section and slipped inside the alien ship. The interior was dark and hot, with strange smells that made breathing difficult. Stay together, Ryan whispered. Watch your. A massive shape dropped from the ceiling, landing on Private Lopes. The soldier screamed as Zrakeri claws tore through his armor. Contact. Ryan shouted, firing his weapon. The rest of the team opened fire too. The next few minutes were chaos. The Zrakeri moved incredibly fast in the darkness. Ryan's team used their UV grenades, filling the corridor with bright purple light. The aliens roared in pain, covering their sensitive eyes. When it was over, 3 of Ryan's team were injured. Private Lopes would survive, but barely. 4 Zrakeri lay dead. 1 was still alive but unconscious from the tranquilizers. This is Cooper, Ryan reported through his communicator. Mission accomplished. We have 1 live specimen. Requesting immediate extraction. We have injured. Back on the Shadowhawk, the medical team rushed to treat the wounded soldiers. The captured Zrakeri was placed in a special containment cell designed by Dr. Morrison. Hours later, the alien woke up. It was smaller than the others they had seen, probably younger. Linda studied it through the transparent wall of the cell. Can you understand me? She asked, activating the translation device they had prepared. The Zrakeri hissed, showing sharp teeth. I am Sub-Commander Rek of the Zrakeri Dominion. You are prey. Release me now. Linda shook her head. No. You attacked our colonies, killed our people. We want to know why. Rek seemed confused by the question. Because that is the natural order. The strong hunt. The weak are hunted. It has always been this way. Kaylee joined Linda, staring at their prisoner. Not anymore. Things are about to change. Rek laughed, a harsh sound like rocks scraping together. Humans are soft. Weak. The Dominion will crush you. Kaylee's expression remained calm. You thought that before, at Delta 7. How did that work out for you? Warlord Thraz stood before the Dominion Council, the 7 oldest and most powerful Zrakeri in the Empire. Their chamber was built from the bones of extinct creatures from their homeworld, a reminder of their status as ultimate predators. You lost 3 ships to these humans, asked the Grand Warlord, his voice dripping with disgust. Prey animals defeated you. Thraz fought to control his anger. They used tactics we have not seen before. They set a trap for us. The council members looked at each other. Prey setting traps for Zrakeri. It was unheard of. Perhaps you have grown weak, Thraz, said another council member. Perhaps you are no longer fit to lead. Thraz's claws extended, a sign of his rage. I am the strongest hunter in the fleet. These humans are different from other prey we have hunted. They compensate for their physical weakness with technology and unpredictable tactics. The Grand Warlord leaned forward, his ancient face scarred from countless battles. Then we will crush them with overwhelming force. I am sending the 7th Battle Fleet. 50 warships will reduce these human colonies to dust. On Earth, humanity prepared for war. Every shipyard worked at full capacity, building vessels designed to fight the Zrakeri. Scientists created new weapons based on Dr. Morrison's research about Zrakeri weaknesses. Admiral Winters met with the United Earth Defense Council. The Zrakeri have conquered dozens of species across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. They're stronger, faster, and tougher than humans, but they have never faced an enemy like us. He activated a holographic display showing the new human fleet. Our ships now carry ultraviolet laser weapons that blind Zrakeri sensors. Our armor is designed to resist their claws. And most importantly, we understand how they think. The Defense Council approved the Admiral's plan. Every human colony was now protected by a defense system specifically designed to counter Zrakeri tactics. Aboard the Shadowhawk, Dr. Morrison continued her conversations with the captive Zrakeri, Sub-Commander Rek. She was surprised to find him curious about humans. Your species makes no sense, Rek said one day. You are physically weak, yet you build these complex machines. You risk strong warriors to save damaged ones. Why? Linda thought about her answer carefully. Humans evolved differently than Zrakeri. We weren't always the top predators on our world. We had to become smarter to survive. We learned to work together, to value each member of our group. Rek seemed puzzled. But this is inefficient. The damage slowed down the hunting pack. That may be true for natural predators, Linda replied. But for humans, our strength comes from our minds and our ability to work together. A wounded soldier might recover and bring valuable experience back to the group. This concept was completely alien to Rek, whose society eliminated any members who could not contribute to hunting or breeding. Meanwhile, the Zrakeri 7th Fleet approached the human colony of New Washington. 50 massive warships emerged from hyperspace, expecting an easy victory. Instead, they found a minefield of small drones that emitted powerful ultraviolet light, blinding Zrakeri sensors. The colony's defense stations fired weapons that sent out electromagnetic pulses, disrupting the neural interfaces the Zrakeri used to control their ships. Captain Kaylee's voice transmitted across all frequencies. Attention Zrakeri vessels. You have entered protected human space. Surrender or be destroyed. The Zrakeri commander laughed at the message. Surrender. Zrakeri did not surrender. They attacked. The battle for New Washington lasted 3 days. When it ended, 37 Zrakeri ships had been destroyed. The human colony remained standing, protected by defense systems specifically designed to exploit Zrakeri weaknesses. For the first time in living memory, a Zrakeri fleet retreated without completing its mission. The Grand Warlord received the news with rage. Impossible. No prey species has ever defeated a full battle fleet. His advisors cowered before him. The humans fight unlike any species we have encountered, Grand Warlord. They adapt quickly. They seem to anticipate our tactics. The Grand Warlord's yellow eyes narrowed. Then we will send more ships. All ships. We will crush these humans before they become a true threat. Sub-Commander Rex spent more time watching the humans who had captured him. They were strange creatures. When one of their doctors was injured in an accident, others rushed to help. When food was served, everyone got the same amount, regardless of rank or strength. Why do you share food equally? Rex asked Dr. Morrison during one of their talks. In Zrakeri society, the strongest eat first, take the best parts. Linda smiled. Humans found out long ago that cooperation works better than competition in many situations. When everyone has enough, everyone can do their job better. Rex tilted his head, a gesture the humans had learned meant confusion. But the strong should take more. They are more valuable to the group. Are they? What about the engineer who keeps our engines running? Or the doctor who heals our wounded? They might not be physically strong, but their skills make our whole group stronger. This idea was completely new to Rex. In Zrakeri society, physical strength determined everything. The idea that a physically weak member could contribute value was revolutionary. Meanwhile, Commander Ryan Cooper led a special mission deep into Zrakeri space. His team piloted a small, stealthy ship that could avoid Zrakeri sensors. Their goal was to place monitoring devices that would warn Earth about Zrakeri fleet movements. Ryan's team navigated through an asteroid field, hiding from Zrakeri patrols. Stay close to the larger rocks, he told his pilot. Their sensors have trouble separating our signature from the mineral deposits. As they moved deeper into Zrakeri territory, they made a disturbing discovery. Dozens of planets showed signs of recent mining operations. The Zrakeri were stripping resources at an unprecedented rate. They're building something big, Ryan said as they recorded the activity. Something that needs a lot of metal and rare elements. His second-in-command, Lieutenant Olivia Carter, studied the readings. Based on the scale, I'd say they're preparing for a massive attack. Possibly on Earth itself. Ryan nodded grimly. Let's place the rest of the monitoring devices and get this information back to Captain Cayley. On Earth, the human military prepared for the coming storm. Every day, more ships joined the defense fleet. Scientists worked around the clock to improve weapons and armor. Admiral Winters addressed the Defense Council again. The Zrakeri are coming. Our intelligence suggests they are gathering the largest fleet in their history. One council member looked worried. Can we win against such force? The admiral's face was serious. The Zrakeri have numbers and natural advantages, but we have something they don't understand. Adaptability. Throughout human history, we faced stronger predators and survived by outthinking them. Back on the Shadowhawk, Dr. Morrison showed Rex videos of Earth, its oceans, mountains, cities, and the many different human cultures. Your world has so much variety, Rex said. Zrakeri conquered most other species on our planet. Few survived. It is mostly just us now. Linda nodded. Earth still has many predators. Lions, tigers, sharks. But humans learned to live alongside them, to understand and respect them rather than just killing them all. Rex seemed troubled by this idea. Respect prey. This is a strange concept. Maybe that's why humans and Zrakeri see the galaxy so differently, Linda suggested. You see every other species as either predator or prey. We see potential allies, or at least neighbors. Captain Cayley received Ryan's report with growing concern. They're mobilizing everything they have. The Grand Warlord himself is taking command. She turned to her tactical officer. Send this to Admiral Winters immediately, and prepare the Shadowhawk for combat. We need to be ready. That night, as the ship hummed with activity, Cayley stood alone on the observation deck, looking at the stars. Somewhere out there, the greatest predators in the galaxy were coming for Earth, but they would find that humans were predators too, in their own way. And humans protected what was theirs. This time, she said quietly to herself, the hunters are about to become the hunted. The Grand Warlord stood on the bridge of his massive flagship. Around him stretched the largest fleet in Zrakeri history, Over 300 warships gathered from across the Dominion. Their target, Earth itself. The humans have become a threat, the Grand Warlord told his commanders. They have defeated our smaller fleets. They have learned to exploit our weaknesses. They must be crushed completely before other prey species follow their example. Warlord Thraz, now serving as fleet commander, bowed his head. Our plan is simple but effective. We will strike directly at their homeworld, cut off the head, and the body will die. Far away, at the edge of Earth's solar system, early warning stations detected the Zrakeri hyperspace signatures. The alert reached Earth Defense Headquarters within minutes. Admiral Winters immediately contacted Captain Kaylee, who had been given command of Earth's main defense fleet. "They're coming, Captain. 300 ships at least. ETA 4 days." Kaylee nodded, her face calm despite the news. "We're ready, sir. Defense Plan Omega is in place." The Admiral looked concerned. "The Zrakeri outnumber us 3-1, Captain." "Numbers aren't everything," Kaylee replied. "The Zrakeri fight like predators. Direct, aggressive, overwhelming force. But that's not how humans hunt." She activated a holographic display showing the solar system. "They expect us to make a stand at Earth, to meet them head-on. Instead, we'll fight them throughout the system. Hit and run. Target their supply ships. Use the terrain to our advantage." The Admiral smiled slightly. "Fight like humans, not like Zrakeri." "Exactly, sir." As the Zrakeri fleet entered the outer solar system, they found it strangely empty. The human ships they expected to meet in battle were nowhere to be seen. "Where are they hiding?" the Grand Warlord demanded. Thraz studied the sensor readings, scattered throughout the system. "Warlord. Small groups only. Their main fleet must be defending their homeworld." The Grand Warlord nodded. "Then we proceed as planned. Forward to Earth." But as the Zrakeri fleet passed Neptune, they came under attack. Small, fast human ships emerged from hiding places among the ice moons. They struck quickly, targeting engine systems and weapon arrays, then disappeared before the Zrakeri could respond effectively. Similar attacks happened near Uranus, then Saturn. Each time, human ships appeared from hiding, caused damage, and vanished again. "This is not how prey should fight," the Grand Warlord roared as another report of damage reached him. "They should stand and defend their territory." Thraz watched the tactical display with growing concern. "The humans are not fighting like prey, Warlord. They are fighting like predators themselves. They are hunting us." By the time the Zrakeri fleet reached Mars, they had lost 30 ships without fighting a single major battle. Worse, their formation had been stretched thin as ships chased the elusive human attackers. "Enough of these games," the Grand Warlord decided. "We will proceed directly to Earth. Their main fleet must defend it." But as the Zrakeri fleet approached Mars' orbit, they encountered a new surprise. The planet's orbit had been seeded with millions of tiny satellites. When activated, they created a web of ultraviolet light beams that effectively blinded Zrakeri sensors. "They've turned the entire planet into a weapon against us," Thraz realized with a mixture of anger and reluctant admiration. In the confusion, human ships attacked from multiple directions. For the first time, the main Earth defense fleet engaged directly with the Zrakeri. But they did not fight as the Zrakeri expected. Each human ship maneuvered independently, targeting weak points, coordinating their attacks with precision. Aboard her flagship, the SS Invictus, Captain Kaylee directed the battle. "Focus fire on their command ships. Disrupt their communications. Don't let them coordinate." The battle for Earth had begun, and it would not be the quick victory the Zrakeri had expected. For the first time in their history, the greatest predators in the galaxy faced an enemy that understood predators better than they understood themselves. The battle for Earth lasted 3 weeks. The night sky lit up with explosions visible from the planet's surface as the two fleets clashed in orbit. Day by day, the Zrakeri lost more ships. Their superior numbers meant little against human tactics that targeted weaknesses and avoided direct confrontation when possible. The Grand Warlord's flagship took heavy damage when 3 human vessels performed a coordinated attack that overwhelmed its defenses. As systems failed around him, the Grand Warlord received an unexpected transmission. The screen showed Sub-Commander Rek, the prisoner the humans had captured months ago. "Grand Warlord, I must report what I have learned about humans," Rek said. His words shocked the bridge crew. No captive Zrakeri had ever willingly helped the enemy before. "Speak, traitor," the Grand Warlord growled. "The humans do not fight like any species we have encountered," Rek continued. "They study their enemies. They find weaknesses. They adapt their tactics while we continue to rely on strength that no longer serves us." The Grand Warlord slammed his fist down. "They are prey. We are predators. That is the natural order. Yet they are winning," Rek replied simply. "They evolved differently than us. On their world, they were not always the top predators. They had to become smarter than their predators to survive. This is why they value every member of their group, why they cooperate in ways we cannot understand." Warlord Thraz, listening to this exchange, looked at the tactical display with new understanding. Half the Grand Fleet was destroyed. The rest was scattered and damaged. For the first time in Zrakeri history, they faced not just defeat, but extinction if the humans chose to pursue them. "We must retreat," Faraz said quietly. "Regroup. Rethink how we fight these humans." The Grand Warlord turned on him with fury. "Retreat. Surrender. I would rather die." "Then you will die alone," Faraz replied, standing tall. "I will not sacrifice what remains of our fleet for pride." Using emergency override codes, Faraz took command of the fleet communications. "All ships, this is Warlord Thraz. Disengage and prepare for hyperspace. Jump to emergency coordinates." The Grand Warlord roared in rage and attacked Thraz with his claws. The 2 massive Zrakeri fought on the bridge as the battle continued around them. Finally, Faraz's younger strength prevailed. The Grand Warlord lay defeated. "The old ways have failed us," Faraz announced to the bridge crew. "We must learn new ways if the Zrakeri are to survive." On the Invictus, Captain Kaylee watched as the remaining Zrakeri ships disengaged and jumped to hyperspace. "Should we pursue, Captain?" her tactical officer asked. Kaylee considered the question carefully. "No, they're beaten. They know it. Let them go." Admiral Winters appeared on her communication screen. "Excellent work, Captain. Earth is safe thanks to you and your fleet." "Thank you, sir, but this isn't over. The Zrakeri will be back someday." The Admiral nodded. "Perhaps, but next time we'll be even better prepared." A week later, Sub-Commander Rek met with Dr. Morrison and Captain Kaylee in a conference room on Earth. Other Zrakeri who had been captured during the battle were with him. "We wish to learn more about humans," Rek said. "Our ways have brought us nothing but conflict. Perhaps there is another path." Kaylee looked skeptical. "Your people have conquered and enslaved dozens of species across the galaxy. Why should we trust you now?" "Because we have seen what humans can do," Rek replied. "For the first time, Zrakeri understand fear. For the first time, we know what it is to be hunted." Linda Morrison stepped forward. "Perhaps there is a middle path. Predator and prey relationships eventually reach balance in nature. Maybe our species can find that balance too." As Kaylee looked out the window at Earth's blue skies, she thought about the long road ahead. The Zrakeri Dominion had dreaded nothing for thousands of years. Now, they dreaded humans. That fear could lead to more war, or it could lead to peace. Only time would tell. One thing was certain: the galaxy had changed forever. Humans had proven that intelligence, cooperation, and adaptability could overcome even the most fearsome natural weapons. The age of the predator was ending. A new age was beginning.